What's going on, everyone? This is the Rockness Monster here with a new game for y'all. Uh, it's personally probably my most favorite game series of all time. And I don't take that lightly when I say that. I'm a huge fan of a lot of things, but this, hands down, is one of my favorite game series. It's Monster Hunter. This game in particular is Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. So, yeah, I've been playing this series for about 11 years now. It's been quite a while, me being a big fan of this. It was my favorite game when I was younger, back on the PS2. Now it's moved from PS2 to PSP, went to the Wii, 3DS, and we're here playing it on the Wii U right now. So, as you can see in this cinematic that's going on, there's some crazy dinosaur-esque, dragon-looking guys. And you can look at the character swimming in the water there, coming out. Looks very warrior-like, which that'll be our character, but we can make him look and play however we choose. So this is going to be a long series, most likely. I'm going to play through the entire game in the story mode, that is. Probably not going to do any of the online or online type quests and missions, but yeah, this very Japanese looking, which you'll be able to tell shortly. Kind of an anime style to it almost, but it's got a lot of focus on the combat mechanics of the game. It's got some of the best combat ever. It can be extremely challenging at times. It's really grindy, really tedious. So yeah, hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun with this series, and let's get right into Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Alright, starting off a new game here, character customization. Nothing special to it, really. We're going to make him named Rockness. So I'll be the Rockness, the Monster Hunter. So let's just do that. I'm not going to really mess around with customizing that much. There's not terribly many options. Might do something... it's a little more revealing for my manly body. That great texture's there, so yeah, we'll stick with this one. Face, not really that important. God, no, I think we'll just do this one. Mean looking. Got to give him some real anime hair. Oh, that's good there. Yeah, I like that. And hair color. Oh, we like the orange. Just like the traditional black. I think we'll do black. Alright, I'm not going to worry about voice type or anything like that. So let's just go ahead and get right into it here. Yeah, it's going to do standard mode. I've already made one little save file there, but I'm going to scrap that. We're going to start over. So here we go. We're entering the world of Monster Hunter. Alright, so we got a little bit of an introduction going on here. I've played this game quite a bit, so I know exactly what to expect. I'll talk you guys through it and go into a little more detail about what we see. So there's a ship. We're on that ship traveling into this place right here. That little village down there. It's called Moga Village. It's isolated away from a lot of the monsters and dangerous parts, and it's a fishing village, as you can see. The kid just got pulled in there. But yeah, you can tell now it's really anime looking. Got the unique hairstyles and clothing and everything like that. And it's not really a game real focused on story or character interaction or anything like that. It's not really immersive, but it's just a lot of fun to play. Fight monsters, dragons, the sort, stuff like that. So much fun. And I hope you guys really enjoy this series as much as I enjoy it. So let's just take a look around here at the village. It's clearly a fishing village. Yeah, they're kind of skimpily dressed for whatever reason. And yeah, the anime looking girl there. So we got our little blacksmith there. He's gonna help us out later on. I'll explain everything as we go through it. We've got our farm, extremely beneficial to our survival out in the wilderness, fighting monsters on quests. You see the little cat thing there. They're felines. They're your little helpers and kind of like a mascot for the game series. So yeah, extremely Japanese, but now they're experiencing an earthquake, and they're kind of shook up about it. Like that. But yeah, so we're gonna get into this very shortly. I hope you guys really enjoyed this series as much as I enjoyed playing it. It's hands down my favorite game series, no doubt about it. And it may be a little slow at first, but it'll pick up quick. So here we are meeting up with the leaders of Moga Village. First thing you notice, we have some state-of-the-art graphics here on this Wii U. Yeah, it's just phenomenal. The textures and everything, great. Nah, it's not a graphics-based game or story or anything like that. It's really so much focus and attention is going into the combat system, which has changed and evolved over time, but it still stayed true to its elements in my opinion, and it's always been one of my favorite games to play when it comes to combat. So here we are just getting introduced. I'm going to skip through a lot of this. There's a lot of talking and text boxes. Don't have time to read all of that. It's way too much. I want to get into the game, not read through a bunch of stuff. So he's pretty much just introducing us. Mentioned the Lagiacrus, foul, pernicious sea monster, and he believes that earthquake we saw was caused by the Lagiacrus. So people seem to think it's almost invincible, but he believes we can take it down eventually, though. He doesn't think we're ready yet, but I'm fairly confident I can take it down. So he just gave us 1500 Zenny, our currency system. So we're going to yeah, we'll keep talking to him. Make sure you get all these speech bubbles knocked out of the way. So we have, I'm just going to introduce you to this guy here. He's our blacksmith, our best friend throughout the game, most likely. Here we have our guild sweetheart. She gives us our quests and objectives throughout the game. And we're just going to talk to this guy. Oh, yep. Talk to this guy one more. He's just telling us to go visit some places, and we're going to have to go look for his son right now. Head off into the Moga Woods. This little kid here. Yeah. So you start off with a sword and shield. I'm just going to go through this really quick. This is more of an intro, like, to the mechanics of the game, how it works and everything, if you're not familiar with it. And if you are, I mean, you don't even have to watch this. I'm going to do the next episode and just be getting really into the story mode. We have a great sword, long sword, sword and shield, dual sword, hammer, bagpipe, which is similar to a hammer, but it can be extremely OP. Unfortunately, I'm not the best with it. Lance, gun lance, switch axe, bowgun, heavy bowgun, and a bow. We have our little weak armor here. But I'm a great sword kind of guy. It's a huge badass sword, you can see here. Really slow, but it's all about timing your attacks and delivering extremely powerful attacks at crucial moments in the fight. So that's my kind of thing. I love those time attacks, just dealing out raw, huge amounts of power. So we're going to head off into the Moga Woods and looking for the village chief's son we saw earlier. Alright, so there's going to be a lot of these like text chat things coming up, giving us advice. I'm probably going to see if I can turn them off real quick. Let's see if we can do that. Alright, well I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. I know I could do it on the game I'm currently playing on, but here we are, heading into the Moga Woods. You know, not great graphics, kind of polygonal. But like I said, once we get into the combat and really starting to fight some monsters, it gets really, oh, shut up. I have to say something every second. It gets just really awesome fights. Like, it may be a little more fun to play than record and have other people watch, but I really hope you guys enjoy it. I love playing this game. So hopefully get right into it here, and I can show you guys some of the mechanics of how to fight. Alright, yeah. So first thing you see here is really reminiscent of a dinosaur, so that's the first thing that attracted me to this game. It's called Aptnoth, I believe. I may have butchered that, but I've been saying it that way since I was a little kid, and it's never really changed. So yeah, really dinosaur looking, a little more fantasy than dinosaurs, but here we are, gonna knock them down. Yep, killed him. So, alright, there we go. So this game is all about managing, well, when you're in combat, is managing that stamina gauge with the yellow bar at the top of the screen, not the green one. When you manage that properly, you're going to have a well-timed fight, more so than if you were to just deplete it and sprint all over the place. So you sprint, roll, And see, just doing that for a second depleted a lot of it. But you just saw me carve some materials off of that monster I killed. That's the mechanic of gathering items in this game, along with just picking up items off the ground and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind if you see me stopping to do that every now and then. But here we are at our destroyed base camp that was taken out by the earthquake, and we see the villager chief's son there. We're gonna go talk to him and his wow, that's nice. Okay, all right, so he's glad we dropped by, and basically we carved off some of that meat, and he wanted some because he was starving, so we handed that meat over. That's all we had to do. And I think he's heading back to the village, so we can meet him back in the village, and I'll see you guys there. Alright, so here we are. We're back in the village. We're going to talk to the village chief's son, who's sitting right here. He's thanking us for the meat, and he wants us to rebuild our campsite we saw that was in just ruins. So we have our villager requests. So we can't start up our quest until we have a campsite up. So we need some resource points. Luckily, start off with 5,000. Only going to use 30 of those. Just go ahead and do that. And now it looks like this guy over here wants to talk to us, our blacksmith. And he's going to be pretty much our best friend throughout this game, giving us our materials. And I'm kind of an item collector, but right now he wants us to go out and collect some iron ore. So we're going to head back out into the village, into a new area, and collect some of that. Alright, first off, being back in the woods, we see some new monsters up here. These are little deer-like monsters known as Kelby. Hopefully I can get a really rare material off of them. It's not necessarily rare, but very valuable. There it is, Kelby horn. That is your best friend, pretty much, when it comes to collecting rare materials for potions, because they yield some of the most valuable potion ingredients in the entire game. So there's a lot to this game: combining items, mining, trying to farm up stuff, the combat. It's a lot to take in, but the game kind of introduces you to it at a good and steady pace, so it keeps you interested and not throwing too much at you at one time. I mean, I've played this for 11 years now, so I know exactly what to expect, and I want to just go ahead and hop right into it. But for somebody starting out, yeah, this is awesome for me. So I've just collected a bunch of these Kelby horns right there, 4 of them from the start. That's awesome to start off with. So I'll just introduce you guys to a little bit of the combat. With the greatsword, it hits really hard, but it's really slow, as you can see. Takes some time, a lot of time-based attacks. So we have our first really powerful attack. See, that was a perfect charge. You can overcharge it or undercharge it. It's not going to be powerful enough, so we have that charge attack. So we're going to hit that charge attack, go into a combo, a side swipe. We can go forward again, do another charge if we want to, but that's not really best in fighting. Then we have our back swing, front swing from the back swing, do this, and then we can hit this for really powerful. Oh, well, hold on. We can hit this for an even more powerful charge attack if I can get it working right. Or you can just cheat and do it. Let's see. How do we do it? Like this, and then, well, it doesn't want to work with me right now. But there's another power attack. It's a little wonky on the Wii U, but once you get onto the 3DS, it's there's a little different combo series of attacks for every weapon. They redesigned it a little bit, and it's a little more perfected. I've been so used to playing that, I probably won't be able to get the combos down exactly right on this game. So it's not like I'm a pro or anything playing this. I just have been so used to playing it on a different console with a little slightly changed combat system. But here we are. We reached our first mining location. You see these little nodes in the wall there. So we get our pickaxe out. They always have a chance to break. We just need 1 iron ore though, and it looks like we got it. So I'm going to stay in here for a little bit, gather up some more iron. Those materials are used to upgrade your weapons. So iron, anything from iron to monster parts to other types of materials you can gather. And I'll run you guys through that whenever I get back to the village. Alright, so here we are back in the village. Gonna drop this iron ore off to our blacksmith friend here. villager requests. Iron ore, I have 7. Gonna drop off 6 to him. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade this great sword. So I'm gonna be mainly just playing with great swords on this character. I do use long swords as well, like the katana. This is a good example to show you guys. So here we are. We have this that I can upgrade into using iron ore, matchalite ore, and ice crystals. Really powerful early on. But then there's also this that requires a little different materials. This requires some monster parts and looks like this. So this splits the tree from the weapons. So you're going to see this a lot throughout the game. Constantly choosing, oh, should I go down this path or this path for this weapon? Which will be better in the long run, which suits my player style better. But for right now, I'm just going to hit with some heavy damage. Going to upgrade this iron sword into an iron sword plus. So it's a great sword. Have 1 left over. So next time, we change the look of the weapon a little bit. Turn into a buster sword. And yeah, so we got a little bit before we can get to that, but it shouldn't take us too long. So we've got our weapon upgraded. Now we're going to talk to our village chief again, or chief's son, my bad. And going to keep talking here, and he wants us to go check out the farm. So talk to this guy real quick, then we'll head over to the farm and give that a check. Alright, so here we are. We're getting introduced to the farm. It's, well, it's nothing very impressive right now, but later on this is going to be our most important place in the game to constantly go to visit over and over again. We got a little waterfall with a secret behind it that doesn't come in until later on in the game. So let's go ahead and talk to the head farmer here, and he's just letting him know this place is used by the cats, the farm, and help you out on materials. So basically this is an item multiplication place, so we can cultivate here. It's ready. Source, blue mushrooms. Let's just do that. We'll do 3. It costs resource points, so that causes us to go out into the Moga Woods, kill monsters, gather materials and stuff to get our resource points up. So basically it keeps you busy doing everything throughout the game, using the farming system, and really everything in the game wants you to continue not just hunting and doing quests, but it'll get you out and make sure you have to go collect things. So it's a good mechanic to balance out. So I started to farm a little bit. He wants to say a little bit more. Alright, so basically we're going to head back to the main part of the village and see what's going on there. Alright, so we're back here in the village, and the village chief gave me a fishing harpoon, which you can see in my inventory here. And I think he wants me to go out into the Moga Woods and try out some underwater combat and gathering materials, which was first incorporated into this game. This was the first game with underwater combat. Really, for even advanced players, threw them a bit of a curveball and like made us learn how to replay the game almost. So we're gonna go back out to the Moga Woods, right into a aquatic area, and see what we can do there. Alright, so while we're running through this area into where we need to get to, I'll explain a little bit more detail. So in the bottom right, you see I'm shuffling through a few items down here. This is your inventory wheel where you can activate items in your inventory. Like I received a BBQ spit, and see I have some raw meat here that we gathered in the first part where we killed those Aptonoth. So let's go ahead and activate this. There we go. We can cook the meat, and I'm not playing with any audio in my headset, so there's a certain little jingle it plays, but I'm just going to look at the color of the meat. Yep, see I burn it. I can't really do it as well, so that's no good. But typically whenever I am cooking meat, I'll listen to that little jingle it plays, and at the very end of it I'll count to like 1, 2, and then I'll press the button to take the meat off the spit, and it gives me a well done steak almost every time. But here we are. Typically in Monster Hunter you would run and you wouldn't be able to go any further than this, but now in this game, ready to get your feet wet? I sure am. So we just run into the water and we dive right in, and here we are, underwater combat. So we're going to check this out. I'm going to hit some of these guys just to try it out. The combat for underwater is a little bit different. Kind of harder to get the camera controlled properly. But we took care of this Epioth here. Going to carve him up, get his hide. and his meat. So I'm a really big like item pouch nut whenever it comes to things. So I always have to sort and have everything organized. So if you see me doing that quite a bit while I play, I apologize. That's just my play style. Oh yeah, there's one thing. So he's pretty much telling us right now to pay attention to that gauge on our left side next to our name and under the little clock looking thing. Right now the clock has an infinite symbol because we can stay out here as long as we want to, but that little gauge is our oxygen meter, so we don't run out of water, or run out of water. We're in water. We're not going to run out of, we have plenty. Run out of air. But here we are checking out these unique fish here. I don't even know exactly what they're called, but they look kind of like a real life sunfish. A lot of stuff in this game is modeled after real world things or dragons, which is obvious. But so we're gonna get out our fishing harpoon, come up and stab these little guys, see what we can get off of them. My stamina's running low, so whenever that stamina gets really low like that, you go into a different kind of running animation. It lets you know it's getting really low. You need to stop, or else you'll have to recuperate and rest. But here we are, stabbed him, perfect. Got me a fish, and we're gonna carve him up and see what we can get off of him. Pretty big fish. A lot of the things in this game are absolutely massive. Life crystals, wow, that's awesome. That's a fairly rare item to get. I'm gonna stab this guy. Harpoon broke, but that's alright. We got what we needed out of him. Gonna get one more carve. Got some more life crystals. Awesome. So we're just gonna check out area 12 here. It's got some rare items, possibly, hopefully, and see what we may be able to get out of this. But yeah, let's just travel right into here. And there's some more enemies introduced to the Banabra. They're pesky bugs. They're some of the most annoying things in the game. But we have a node here in the final area. We're gonna mine it. Aqua glow jewel, that's very important. Iron ore, great. Not really what I want. There's our matchalite ore. We really need that. Sorry if that made a noise. I apologize to my computer. But yeah, so we just got some matchalite ore, iron ore, and more iron ore. So we're close to being able to upgrade this weapon already this early on in the game, which will give us a big leg up in combat and fighting. So here we are. I'm going to head back to the village now, and I'll see you guys there. Alright, so we're back at the village, and it seems everybody wants to talk to us about something. So I'm just going to go check on this really quick, see what he has to say to me. Blah, blah, blah. Armor sphere, armor upgrades, that'll help. Right now it's not important. I'm going to see how long I can last with this really shitty starting off armor. Hopefully I can go through most of the game without having to ever upgrade, because it's going to test me a lot in my skill, but it's a good challenge. I like it. So we need only 4 more iron ore to upgrade our weapon. Awesome. The outfitter wants to talk to me. She's got some more stuff to purchase. Not going to worry about that right now. And we're going to talk to the chief's son, most important of all. Oh, he told me to go check on the sweetheart. So that's the guild, the quest giver. He has something to say to us. Yes, like I said at the very beginning, I'm going to be skipping through a lot of this. Oh, got more money. Perfect. Yep. So let's talk to her. My favorite hunter. Guess who just got in contact with me. Finally heard from the Hunters Guild. And my very first quest. So it seems like we're going to get into our first quest, guys. But that'll have to be on the next episode. It's running a little long. I really just wanted to introduce this to you guys, starting off, showing you guys the basics of the game, explaining it to you, really getting into it. But next time we'll get into our first quest. Oh, it's so exciting too. It's Harvest Shroom. I get to deliver mushrooms. So that's our first quest. It's gathering. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know what you guys think. Give me some recommendations on what you want to see on the channel. I'm open to about anything. Steam summer sales going on right now, so give me some ideas, please. But yeah, so next episode we'll get into our quests. So this has been the Rockness Monster, and I'll see you guys back in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate shortly.